I'm back, and this is my second first listen in the series of the history of rock music with Amy and Karl. And this piece of assigned listening, which Karl gave me, follows the blues piece that started out the first episode. Now, this one is originally by Louis Prima, Sing, 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 but Karl has given me a version by Benny Goodman in the following year of 1937. And the reason he did so is because it's a bit longer. He told me that most of these big band swing styles were limited to about 3 minutes in length, and it had to do with the recording space on a record of the time. This one is longer, and he said that even there are versions that are even longer. There was a Carnegie Hall performance that lasted 12 minutes. So that was kind of a big difference in length and performance, all of that. So here I am ready to listen to Sing, Sing, Sing by Louis Prima, performed by Benny Goodman. It's a very happy, energetic percussion opening. And the brass. I noticed immediately, even though there are a lot of echoes and influences from the blues stylistic elements from the blues, which we heard in my first listen. First listen. This is much faster. It's more hyper. It's more energetic. It's more upbeat. Blues has always struck me as being a little bit, well, down, gloomy. Blues. I guess that's where we get the term feeling blue. I'm not sure. But now here, we hear the same swing rhythms. We hear the same flexible notes and all. But it's fast, and it feels like it's supposed to be some dance music or something like that. Okay. Brings to mind some old black and white movie clips. I kind of like these drums. Still a very conversational style. Trumpets turn to enter first. how they all take turns entering, being the first one to step in. And then the others come around a little bit. With a bit of piano. Kind of buried under everything else. I like to push on those notes a bit. Nice little echoing of ideas there. Almost gets, in that little moment, it almost gets a sort of contrapuntal sound. Contrapuntal means independent voices working equally, concurrently, note against note. They're not trying to support one another. They're working as their own independent entity and yet carrying on at the same time. Now, of course, I don't claim that this is meant to be some highly intellectual contrapuntal work at all, but it's interesting after all of this that's come along up to this point. Suddenly you hear this moment where they're intentionally echoing each other independently and stacking one layer on the other in their own way. Let's hear that little bit again. Here it is. And here it is. Overlapping. And it gets kind of wild and crazy. Now everybody's together. End. Yes, that is high energy music. And it's not the kind of music that I would listen to for long stretches of time. Because after a while, I begin to feel like it's not really developing anything particularly. It develops in chunks. You hear one instrument come in, say something. It's a bit more formal than the blues, meaning instead of everybody having a conversation where it's a free flow, this instrument comes in, that instrument comes in, it's more like everybody takes a turn to say their piece. Not quite a debate, but getting close. Maybe a town hall gathering or something like that. Only a little bit more fun than a town hall meeting. And every time the instruments stop, the drummer kind of clears the air, cleanses the palate, and then it's somebody else's turn to step in and say their piece. And of course, as they're saying their piece, some of the other instruments join around the edges, but it's a particular portion of the group that has their moment to shine. And it's interesting. It's fun for a while, but after a while, I begin to wish that everybody would come together and develop an idea more fully rather than just stating their say and then sitting down and waiting for the next person to have their say. That's why I enjoyed at the end that little bit of what I called counterpoint. Because there it was a moment of one idea, and then each voice came, each part came and took the same idea and carried it on, wove it through the fabric of the music a bit. And of course, it got very complex and wild very quickly. Of course, that's fine. And then, to wrap it up, somehow they all came into a unified whole group, and the rhythm was carried on not only by the drums, but by every instrument. It was a very rhythmically tight ending where everybody is in concert together. So there we have Sing, Sing, Sing by Louis Prima, but performed by Benny Goodman and his band, Benny Goodman's band. The next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to sit down with Karl and we're going to have a discussion. Probably he'll do a lot of the talking and I will ask questions and we'll see how the flow goes. But the idea is we're going to talk about how these two pieces of music are markers and milestones of the beginnings of how rock music came into existence. And I'm looking forward to that conversation very much, and you will get to enjoy it here on Virgin Rock. I'll see you soon.